Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like the recipe, please don't forget to sign up for my channel and also put a like on the recipe. So today we're going to make lentil flour crackers with seeds, and I want to thank my friend Yet. It was originally her recipe and then I modified it. Now you can buy the lentil flour already made, or you can buy lentils and then just grind them up and make your flour, as I'm going to do right now. This takes an extra step, but it's quick and easy. It'll be done in a jiffy. You can make it really fine or not so fine. A little finer makes it a little bit easier to spread. So the recipe calls for 120 grams of lentil flour, but I'm doubling it. So we're going to be doing 240 grams of lentil flour. And 240 grams, if you're thinking of it in terms of, well, how much is that in a cup, for instance? That is really about 3/4 of a cup. It's close to a cup. And then we're also going to add some sesame seeds. I'm going to do 2, if they're toasted, it's a little bit better. I'm going to just add 2 heaping teaspoons of sesame seeds, and because I love nuts and seeds and you know how good they are for your gut microbiome, we're also going to add a little bit of psyllium seed husk. It's just going to help with the consistency, and psyllium seed gives you both soluble and insoluble fiber. Now this is already a fine powder, so I am going to do 2 heaping teaspoons. And I'm also going to do 2 heaping teaspoons of organic whole hemp seeds. It gives you that nutty little flavor, and it makes them very, very nutritious. So we're going to mix all the flours together, and then we're going to mix the liquid and add the liquid. And the liquid is going to be about 70 cc's of your best extra virgin olive oil that you can find, and then about 100 to 110 milliliters of water. And you can either add a little bit more water or a little less, depending on how thick you want it. We're going to measure. I have an idea of how much it is, so I'm just going to add it. I'm going to eyeball it, but it's going to be 70 milliliters. You could easily measure it. I'm all about just sort of eyeballing it and getting it in the ballpark. I know recipes you're supposed to follow it to the T, but some things you can kind of get away with just eyeballing it, so that's what I'm doing. And then with your water, you're going to do about 100 mLs of water. And that I am going to measure. So we're going to add the liquid. Oh, I forgot to add my salt. I'm going to add a little pinch of salt. Your sort of best sea salt that you can find. I'm doing about 1/2 teaspoon. And remember, you can you can modify. You can add other things to this. So you can either add both liquids together, or you could just add one at a time. I prefer to add a little bit of each at a time, because then it really helps me with the consistency. So we're going to do the rest of the water and then the rest of the oil. That nice smell of that extra virgin olive oil that's so full of polyphenols and so good for you. And then you're just going to get it into a fine sort of a ball, I should say, the dough. You're going to get it nice and uniform. And then we're going to spread it on your baking sheet. And you can use like a silicone baking sheet. What I did instead is I just used my regular baking sheet, and I just put some parchment paper over it. I try not to get as much contact with plastic as you can, but unfortunately in this recipe we're going to have to add a plastic wrap in order to really try and spread it. And it's a little thicker. You know, you can use all different types of lentils. I'm using red lentils, but you can use whatever you have or whatever you like. If it's this thick, you might just add a tad more of water. I'm just gonna do a couple, like about 3 to 5 milliliters of water. So a lot of the consistency also depends on everything that you're adding as well as the ambient temperature. So I love getting my hands in because it makes it so much easier and more malleable to manage. So here is my baking sheet. I put a piece of parchment paper on it, and now I'm going to put my saran wrap on top. I just rinse my hands, and then you're just going to thin it out. Now I like mine pretty thin, but it's really up to you how you do it. And the nice, amazing thing about this is that they're quick. It only takes 20 minutes for them to bake. So you're just going to use your rolling pin right over it and get it nice and thin. And you could actually not even have to use your hands. Of course, I like using my hands because I feel it's a lot quicker, and I'm just a hands-on type of person. Now these are very nutritious. They're high in protein because you've used so much of the lentil flour, or lentils, basically. You could add other spices too. I'm just making it really simple. You know, I find that some of my viewers would like to keep it simple. Otherwise they feel a little bit kind of gun shy to try things. So for that reason, I'm making it really simple. But you could add cumin, you could add allspice, you could add just about anything that your palate likes. And remember that the more spices that you add, the higher the antioxidant content. So you're just going to take the plastic right out. I haven't come out with a better solution than using the plastic. I wish I had, but I have not as of yet. So if you have any suggestions, just add them on. And then it depends on the size you want them. I like mine kind of small, bite size, because then it's easy to just use it as a dip. They tend to not break as much. And of course we try to get them even, but I don't always do that. And I like some thin strips. I make both because with the thin stripped ones, you can use them as, you know, really cool little dips. And then once we have them all sort of cut up, you're going to put them in the oven, and it's going to be at around 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and they're going to cook for 20 minutes. You might want to have a look at them 10 minutes into it just to see how they're doing. Usually as soon as they start to brown around the edges, then you know that they're going to be ready soon, and you might want to decrease the temperature just slightly by 5 degrees because it all depends on your particular oven. So I hope you've enjoyed my crackers. Please put a like and sign up to my YouTube channel, and make it a great day.